Okay. Yeah, I got. But I'm just gonna restart. Just let them know that I'm restarting.
That was kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know if I couldn't click on anything. That was really weird. But relog it in here, and then again, going to be good with getting things started. So join off of you or somebody else. Let's join off of B-Kid. He's a cool guy.
Wow.
Off of B-Kid, not you. New to Newerth, Lodestone. That's right.
Totally OP. Shout out to
and every new hero.
Shout out to Aaron or Waza, who told me it was OP the first time I came by his office and said, "Hey, what's this hero?" He's like, "Oh, it's only the most broken thing you've ever seen in your life." His exact words.
He didn't say that, I promise. Yeah, see, he might have. He's a good guy. All right, it looks like they are obviously picking their heroes, and okay, here we go. So, obviously being an all pick makes it very easy. Game number 2 is officially starting here. So stay green, obviously, on the Legion side. Complexity on the Hellborn side. So, okay, visual person trough. Here you go. Now we get to see exactly what the lineups are. So stay green. What do you make of their lineup? How do you think it's going to play out for them?
I think Pebbles is awesome here. I think if they do have that Pebbles Luna mid, it's hard to gauge who's going to win mid. It's really going to come down to that matchup and how the junglers are going to play out their roles, and if Chessie can push up top lane easily, or if he can maybe get a good gank mid when he hits 6, or even top, and how Parasite's able to be effective in this game. But mid lane, Pebbles and Luna versus a Miraxus Glacius, it's somewhat even. I do like Miraxus Glacius. We see Miraxus Luna all the time, but I actually do like Miraxus Glacius a little bit more. So it's really going to come down to the mid lane. I think both teams actually have very, very even lineups this game.
Plague Rider going to place a ward aside again. It's going to be very close, but ooh, he does turn around at the last second. Parasite was there on the front lines, and does get Plague Rider to actually turn around at the last second. So good job right there protecting that ward spot. The top lane, basically the same thing. I mean, Walsall does have the ward aside on him, but will take a little bit for him to get it down, if at all, in a good spot. So good job from both teams in that sense. And again, yeah, we see the Mage Bane. It's been a while since we've seen a Mage Bane, but being played by Slicks here, as you would expect. For Stay Green, so we'll see how he progresses in this game. But yeah, the lane setups, nothing too crazy, it looks like.
Oh my god.
What's up?
Boy, did they pull him regen.
Who's that?
300 gold worth of regen, actually.
Yeah, the 2 health pots and the trees. Yeah, you're right, jeez.
So this means, okay, right now, no upgraded courier, and also only 1 ward. Only Wild Soul has a ward, and it's only there probably to block the pole. Although they don't really need to block the pole, because they should know that it is a solo silhouette. So blocking the pole would be kind of a waste right here, in my opinion. We'll have to wait and see what he does. And where does he go to place this? It should be on the rune ward.
Okay.
But it's not going to be.
Not going to be, yeah.
Oh, no, they already placed the ward. Okay, I'm stupid. Skyzo already placed the ward bottom. I looked at his inventory. He must have placed it very, very early.
Yeah, he caught me off guard, too, yeah. I was looking at the Wild Soul, so. Anyway, so they have both those wards down, so that makes a lot more sense. But yeah, let's talk about the regen on Mage Bane again. Holy crap, really pulling up the regen against the Plague Rider. In fact, you see right here, he's blinking aggressively on a Plague Rider. Puts in a couple of auto attacks. And it shows you, even right off the bat, he is just going to keep the harassment up onto B-Kid there playing the Plague Rider. And again, we see this. We saw this yesterday with the Complexity. B-Kid playing Plague Rider, Moon Meander on Miraxus. So usually it really is the other way around. But obviously, no, it's a US East server, so I do find that a little bit strange, actually. That is, I thought it was yesterday because of the latency issues. They were on a European server, so maybe that was it. But I don't know. It just simply. Maybe I guess Moon's just more comfortable on Miraxus and vice versa, perhaps. But
I think the setup suits them better, honestly. I really do. Good job. Good nuking from Plague, actually. B-Kid is able to get the nuke with the slow damage on top of getting a CS at the same time. So he's playing this early lane pretty damn well.
As far as the creep score goes, yeah, 4-3 compared to the 3-0 Mage Bane. Obviously, only half into the game, so very early. But again, keep a close eye on that to see how it progresses throughout this game, of course. So, yet again, expect a little bit more of a passive start here in this game. Pebbles of Luna, though, matched up against Miraxus Glacius, definitely has all the potential in the world to pick up in action for sure. They're going to, the Hellborn team that is Complexity, going to spread out right here and go for the rune, and sure enough, it's going to be a double damage rune that spawns right in front of Moraxis. So very good timing right there. And excellent rune control coming out for Complexity. Now back to the middle lane he goes. Actually snipes out a creeper there with the X. Well played. But yeah, he's going to even be more of a threat now against this Pebbles and Luna combination. So need to be careful about that. Ooh, Entangle at the top lane and a Silhouette. Wow, gets him really low actually. That's the power of the Entangle. If you get RNG in your favor, you can definitely get a lucky kill. In this case, even a Bloodless kill perhaps. So Haxerin nearly falling right there, but is able to health pot and stay alive. But that was damn close.
We're going to see some early aggression onto Wild Soul. Jesse's coming over here. It is only level 2, or only level 1 stun actually, so it's going to only stun him once. And Wild Soul's trying to do some juking. It's not really juking, more of sitting here. He actually might get the mana, but another Entangle onto Tempest. Who's going to die first? KZU does die first, but talk about RNG.
Yeah.
And oh, he's level 3 or level 4 now with an Entangle on Wild Soul. Okay, I can kill Suicide or solo shorts and junglers at the same time. Whoa.
Almost as if you think the hero's powerful. Yeah, that was, again, RNG. That's part of why you pick the hero, though, let's be honest. So, very good. Now, you pointed out, the very big point to point out is that actually Bloodless kill did go in favor of Haxerin
Yes,
there.
that was huge.
So that happened first. So that is the good news, but again, it's still the fact that KZU even got a kill out of it is big for State Green and, well, KZU at the same time. So, fun start to the game there at the top side. We have bottom action, perhaps. No, that's just Mageman. I thought Parasite might have been running over, but Mageman again blinking aggressively on a Beacon right there. But Beacon already does have his Marchers, and you see he's running at 365 movement speed. So very, very quick indeed. A lot faster than the Mageman. Well, without the boots, of course. So able to easily kite him there. So Parasite, obviously, you expect Parasite usually more of a very aggressive jungler especially, so Zephyr plays a great Parasite with that said. He's going to wait for the bottom rune. It is going to spawn top, though, and that means Luna will protect it probably. Yes, and Pebble's actually going to bottle it up here, so that's a big rune, of course. Haste rune will allow for some early on kills, so we'll see if Stay Green is able to take advantage of that fact here.
Yeah, now Parasite has opted to actually level up his infest ability. It's level 3 right now, actually. And he's actually got good levels, to be honest, as a Parasite. Staying neck and neck with Tempest. He doesn't exactly have... Actually, his farm is pretty much identical, too, but Tempest did die, which sets him back considerably.
Yeah.
Normally, Tempest does not die this early. And, yeah, that RNG was pretty big. But he has his early, actually, boots plus Blood Chalice. It might come down here for a kill in the bottom lane. Like I said, it's a very easy jump potential with Magebane, because right there, blink. You just blink right in. Now, Plague Rider is getting a little bit body blocked by, actually, Magebane. It might not be enough, and it will not be enough. So, good job from Plague Rider being played by B-Kid. And one of the great things about Plague Rider is he does have very, very high movement speed, and did pick up the boots early.
Yeah, so you see right there, it allows him to easily get away to the tower pretty much, and going to be fine. But now, if Parasite or Magebane, for the matter, get level 6, and that could have been a different story. Moraxis, in the meantime, in the middle lane will go down right there. Luna and Pebble, sure enough, talking about the haste rune bottled up, and it looks like Swinamelons did take advantage of it right there, and used it to help get the kill on Moraxis. So great job in the middle lane there, as actually Skyzo got credit for the kill. But taking a look at the creep farm there in the middle lane now, 29 and 4 Pebbles. You have an 18 and 1 Moraxis. So even before that kill, it seems like Pebbles has definitely been having the better time. As Swinamelons actually had a very good start last game too, remember, in the middle lane. So.
Yep, early tower push coming out now from Tempest. He is level 6, and actually, I'm surprised he's level 6 considering he died so early on. And if he's able to actually get a stun plus an ultimate off onto Wild Soul, he is not level 6, Wild Soul that is, and it would be a very, very easy kill. So KZU definitely needs to keep his distance right here.
He's kind of going back in. Oh,
nope.
There's the stun that you're talking about. We're going to see Trigger up a follow-up. No, we're not. Not able to do it. And actually, an Entangle coming out on Tempest, so a little bit of counter harassment. Actually, we're going to see another Entangle, perhaps a tower damage even coming out. And Silhouette will also start falling back in vulnerability. It's good. No, the last attack from Chessie. The minion actually gets credit for the kill. Again, speaking of Chessie and his minions, doing the work right there. The Boo Boo is chasing, but not in range of Wild Soul, so he's not going to be able to auto-attack right there. So it ends up being actually a pretty solid push in the end for Complexity. They did get very close to even a hero kill on top of that, but wasn't able to do so. So yeah, good news for Complexity there. Good tower push pressure.
Yeah, and then you actually had both members of mid move up there in transition, and then Swindle actually bought a TP and TP back mid, so that's all that little bit of gold and time wasted does add up and freed up a little bit of space. Actually, in the meantime, bottom lane, Plague Rider's in a lot of trouble, coming more auto attacks. Can he get the ultimate off? No, he couldn't. I think he just lost a little bit too much mana, actually, from the mana rift. But Mage Bane's going to get countered on. That's a big
Wow.
trade, and I'm sure Complexity is willing to take.
Yeah, easily. I mean, you just exchanged a Suicide Plague Rider for a Mage Bane, a farming Mage Bane. Yeah, very, very good trade in the end there for Complexity. And you know, I do question a little bit right there the lack of Mana Rift coming out from Slicks, because I figured it seems like if he Mana Rifted, that kill could have happened a lot sooner, and maybe could have made a difference in terms of him staying alive in the end.
Yeah.
So he chose to finish him off with auto attacks, and I really think that may have been the difference maker right there. So
There's that, and also, you know, normally, I mean, the leveling up the Infest does help you, I think, farm a little bit faster, but having the max level into Leech is most commonly seen
True.
in Parasite, and it provides much stronger ganking potential. So that's 100. He could have had a 260 magic damage, whereas now he has 140. So you got to think about that as well.
very true. Yeah, didn't even notice that, but that's a very good point as well. So yeah, a couple of things adding up as to why perhaps they didn't get that tower kill. But you said it though. The big thing here is with maxing out the Infest. I mean, Z-Freak is able to farm very, very quickly. You see him taking over the Catman champion right there and destroying the other minion with it. So he's in fact nearing that 300 GPM, but still at the same time, Tempest is ultimately defeating him in terms of the jungle race. Obviously, a tower kill most certainly helps with that. So Silhouette is pushing up a little bit here at the top lane, as that Wild Soul still here to threaten her, but she's already got Steam Boots and a Life 2 picked up. So excellent start, of course, for Haxrin playing the Silhouette, but Swindlemelons, a lot of S's. Swindlemelons is actually the top farmer in the game still, now at 338 gold per minute. So Steam Boots very likely can be purchased on him shortly, already with a power supply and bottle currently purchased. So Moraxis, on the other hand, I mean, Moraxis, Moonmeander, hasn't really had the most effective start himself. Does that kind of surprise you a little bit here?
A little bit. He shouted out to me. Why did he shout out to me?
Just because. What's wrong with that? You sound so
well, I wasn't
surprised.
watching. Well, maybe he did something and I missed it.
I didn't compliment you. I don't know.
Oh well.
You got a shout out from Chessie, man. I'm excited.
I'll have to ask him.
Yeah, okay.
I'll have to ask him what that was about. But anyway, well, I lost my... Oh, Moonmeander on Moraxis. One thing I did want to know about him early on is he bought boots before he bought a bottle. In fact, he doesn't even have a bottle. And that's kind of a little strange considering when you do go for the Steam Boots, it's very effective to couple that with bottle because you just get so much effectiveness out of it. So that's one interesting thing. I feel like he could use a bottle and be beneficial or benefit from a bottle.
Yeah, that very. I mean, I'm very shocked by that actually too. That he doesn't actually have the bottle. So this tower taking a little bit of damage here in the middle lane. Well, meanwhile, the bottom lane actually initiation on a Plague Rider this time. Again, Parasite coming. There's the Mana Refuse, but it's still not enough for the kill. One more auto attack will do him in, but he's just out of range. Blood Chalice is up. He's going to use it. No, he doesn't even use it. He has a leech coming up in 1 second. He's trying to juke right here. No, it's not going to be enough though. Just out of range. Infest on the Imp, and he'll run away with it. So again, Plague Rider. This time he died last time, sure, but he does survive this time actually. Granted, both Magebane and Parasite are also able to get away with the lives. So great getaway though from BK. That speed, man, getting those earlier Ghost Marches or Marchers, I should say, and now actually Steam Boots.
Yeah,
no doubt helping him as well. So
I still gotta say the Max Leech would have killed him again. That's twice now that it would have killed him. And not only does it provide more magic damage, but it also gives you more movement speed and takes movement speed away from them. So it does scale up both movement speed and magic damage.
Yep, that's definitely very good to reiterate right there. So
I mean, hindsight's 20/20, but still,
Sure.
this is why we normally do see that Leech leveled up over the Infest.
sure, yeah. Pebbles actually, he has a haste rune, another haste rune bottled up. Yeah, he has another haste rune bottled up. He is finished those Steam Boots, so now next in line more than likely going to be that Portakimi with the bottom lane. Magebane gets bursted down. Plague Rider using that ultimate on top of a Glacius Freeze and the Tundra Blast, and that does finish off Slick. So again, not only do they not happen to kill B-Kid there, but he comes back and gets an assisted kill with Glacius. So very good for Complexity there. And Magebane, 206 GPM. That feels very low. I mean, 2 deaths, I guess, really struggling, but very low farm.
It's very, very low. And at this point, you might even want to think about getting a help with the Black Legion. I'm not kidding. Especially when you're going to have a portal key. It's actually, Moonmeander is farming very slowly himself, but when he does get that portal key, and it's very, and he actually goes for the vestments before that. He doesn't want to get bursted down by Pebbles. But that kind of initiation, when you're having this slow of a start on a Magebane, and if you go for first item Rune Cleaver, they're going to be able to burst you down so easily. especially with the portal key's going to come up on Tempest very shortly, as Chessie's farming very, very well right now.
Yeah. Ooh, Wild Hunter Parasite, he's scouting down somebody. Ooh, I thought he was going to go for Glacius, actually, but he doesn't in the end. I don't know if he just didn't see him or not. He's going to wait for maybe another Invis here, though, and perhaps catch somebody then. He does have that level 4 Leech now, so he'll have maximum damage from that, of course, as well as the face hug. So, again, going to go into the jungle here. May find Tempest, actually, and also Pebbles is nearby. The Wing Courier will actually spot them, but here comes a jump from Parasite. Pebbles will hit the Stalagmites. Not the greatest placement, but it does get the kill nonetheless. He's jets on out of there with the Haitian activated as well, and going to be fine. So, good patience coming out from Z-Freak, and the brothers actually collapse to take out, that was Tempest, of course, right there. So, good kill, and actually going right to the top lane now. You do see Silhouette, though, realizing, yeah, might want to play a little passive here because they're probably coming for me.
Yep, and he backs up to the tower. In the meantime, you also see passive play in the mid because they don't exactly know where they are. They don't have a ward above them in the mid. They did see them show up top, so that gave him a cue to keep farming in mid now. In the meantime, B-Kid, he's farming in the lane where his Magebane's pulling. And like you mentioned, Magebane's farm is just not at all where it needs to be. In fact, B-Kid's is higher on the Suicide Plague.
Yeah.
And he's had a lot of farm, actually.
I'm still very surprised by that. I mean, we usually comment on Slicks of being just one of those carry players that just seems to know how to find farm all over the place, but this time it's just not working out. Glacius, in the meantime, getting caught out right here. He just ran into a very awkward spot. Yeah. Not sure. I mean, again, he doesn't have the vision we have, but still, it seemed very awkward, and he just got collapsed on easily, so... I don't know, just bad choice to go that direction, I think.
Yeah, that was a silly movement and just the direction in which he walked. If you're going to place a ward there or even scout that out, that little corridor, that little area where you actually walk, is just so susceptible to ganks. And Stay Green didn't even have a ward there. Yep. They saw him walk there. They knew that he had very, very awkward escape. And actually, in the meantime, Plaguewater getting gone on yet again. There's the Mana Rift on top of Skyzo's Power Throw, which actually gets the kill and takes away from Slicks, unfortunately. But obviously, he had good intentions.
Yeah, that's it's kind of unfortunate because I don't even know if the Mana Rift ended up doing anything there. So it's actually unclear. Again, not the biggest deal in the world, but he will be able to finish off his Steam Boots now, at least, will Magebane as a result of that. So Z-Freak is not. He continues to, I should say, even to play a lot, very, very aggressive here. Again, earlier on wasn't necessarily pulling through with the kills that they were looking for, but he is playing very aggressive, and it seems like it is paying off somewhat. I mean, he's 0-3 now, as having those 3 assists, being involved in 3 of the 6 kills for the team. So just continuing to farm as well and get higher in that. But Swinimo's again on Pebbles. He actually now has his portal key. He's going back to base right now, and he is going to purchase it right here. He has a Homecoming Stone. He's going to have full bottle charges. So we'll see what kind of surprise factor he's able to make right here as a result of having the portal key, if there's really any opportunities just yet. I mean, you look at the minimap right now, it doesn't seem like there's any obvious opportunities here, so it's just a matter of him finding that right mark. He's, in fact, just going to walk back. He doesn't feel it's necessary to even port anywhere, which definitely can agree with that. So, yeah, but he does have that now, and he has that threat, of course. Still, he's yet to actually show it, so if he can get that surprise factor, then that will be good for them, of course. So.
Couple heroes we haven't really talked that much about is specifically Wild Soul. Now, he's been kind of quiet up here. He has boots on both his bear and himself, and is sitting at 2,300 gold. So he's actually had a pretty damn good game today, or at least right now. And he's sitting at 246 gold. I mean, nothing outstanding, but he is on his way to that very early mock.
Yeah. They were trying to set up a gank here in the middle, and Stalagmites will come in. Parasite is also here. The power throw on top. There's that quick kill on a Marxus. That's the potential of this team makeup for sure. By now, Pebbles in a little bit of trouble. The counter's coming in, but it's not going to be nearly enough. The Luna stun just securing the getaway for Pebbles right there. So he got a little bit creep locked down. I was a little bit worried for Pebbles with that said, but no, he was able to easily get away. And kill successful. So you saw that setting up for a while. I mean, get great patience on their part. Parasite, he had the Wild Hunter for a while there. He actually used a full invis, then waited for the next one, then eventually went in after that with the Pebbles initiation. So, again, good execution and deserving of another kill. And you do look at the overall stats, and it is in favor of Complexity right now, or excuse me, State Green right now, actually, at about a 1,700 gold lead and a 2,800 experience. And you're right. I mean, KZU on Wild Soul, he is well on the way to a Suicide Wild Soul Mocker Brilliance build. And at this rate, he's going to have a Sword of the High, maybe say around 18 minutes or so, and then have a Mocker Brilliance shortly after. So, very powerful.
Yeah, and again, that just validates my point earlier that I think Pebbles is a very, very strong pick in this lineup, as he is in really, honestly, any lineup. Like, Pebbles is a fantastic hero. And now they don't have the Nymphoria, but Parasite's also a fantastic hero in setting up ganks, and I think he might go for a Blink himself. He's sitting at just about enough money to buy that portal key. And it's going to synergize very, very well with Pebbles if he does do so. And he does have good levels. Like, Parasite's level 11, man. Look at Chessie. He's level 10. And it's because he's been active and been getting these kills. And he does get, actually, a Codex, so he just wants some more burst potential onto a hero like Mirax and Plague and whatnot.
Yep.
And then I was going to mention one other thing. Oh, I still feel like in this matchup, I think Slick should have gone for the Helm of the Black Legion. I really do. And the reason is, it's going to be a lot of farms soaked up by both Magebane and Wild Soul. And I feel like this should be a game where Wild Soul just farms, gets his Mog, starts pushing out lanes, farms, while the rest of the team, the 4 heroes, with the 2 Blink Daggers, with aggression, well, they don't have a Blink Dagger on Parasite, but with the aggression coming out from Parasite and Pebbles, with the Helm of the Black Legion on Magebane to be able to jump in there, Blink himself, by the way, and just be right up in the fray, right in the fight. I feel like that would be very effective in just doing like a 4-1 strat with Wild Soul farming. But we'll have to wait and see how this pans out with Rune Cleaver coming out on the Magebane.
Yeah, he's definitely going that build. Of course, the Sustainer picked up, so leading you to believe that that's the case. Wild Hunter Parasite again. Damn, Z-Freak has had a lot of Wild Hunters this game, it seems like. He just seems to find them all over the place, and similar to Chessie on Ophelia finding the Minotaurs and Skeleton Kings always. He actually runs past Ward of Sight there, though, and there is that Portacan Tempest, as you mentioned. So Parasite actually the one that needs to maybe be a little bit careful here. Granted, the Wild Hunter, he is magic immune, of course, so despite Tempest, Glacius, and Plague Rider all being here, so he should be fine. There is an Invis Rune actually going to be picked up by Tempest, and the Leech actually missing right there because of the Fade time. So an accidental disjoint coming out from Tempest, but hey, he'll take it. A little bit unfortunate there, I guess, from Parasite, but not the biggest deal. Now, actually, if he face-hug... Wait, did he face-hug?
Yeah.
I thought that was the Leech for some reason. Okay.
And actually, I'm pretty sure if you face-hug right when they activate the Invis, you can actually steal it.
That was my point, yeah. That would usually be the case, but I guess he just literally did it
really
right
late
as he went Invis, yeah. Huh, unfortunate. I thought that was a Leech, okay. So he had the right idea. Top lane, we have another gank coming in, actually. Tempest running in, but never mind. I thought for sure that was initiation, but nope, he runs on by. He was invis, of course, so not finding the opening point. Sword of the High has been purchased already, and he already has another nearly 750, 800 gold saved up, so.
I mean, this is going to be a good game so far, and you just have a lot of good things going on the side of Stay Green. You have good initiation. Pebbles is, and Parasite are both opening up the map for both Magebane and Wild Soul. Wild Soul's just kind of sitting up here, is doing his thing up in the top lane this entire time. And it kind of makes you wonder, why didn't Complexity utilize their poles to get the lane back? Because it really has been up here this entire time. Like, it hasn't really moved anywhere. In the meantime, Pebbles is going to try to help take these ancient stacks. Going to give him to Boo Boo.
Parasite in the meantime, he locked down the Plague and the Tempest ultimate. He tries to take over a creep, but just not able to do it in time. Miraxis with his newly purchased portal key assists to guarantee the kill. So a lot was used right there, you could say, but they got the kill again, especially 19.5 minutes. Nothing wrong with that. So great kill on a Parasite. Now counter push in the meantime in the middle lane coming out here from Stay Green, and they will get the tower kill. Looks like, in fact, Slicks gets credit for the last hit. Makes it very, very close now to finishing that Rune Cleaver, as Wild Soul does have that Mocker Brilliance on top of that. Nullstone also picked up on Silhouette. There's a lot of really core items being picked up now as we're entering now the 20-minute mark, but both the top and the bottom lane being pushed in by Complexity here, but the middle being pushed in by Stay Green, secondaries and first towers all over the place. So there goes the bottom first, the middle secondary in favor of Stay Green, and vulnerability is going to be used. The top one still being pounded in by Silhouette, but it's going to stay close right there. The defensive tower is just out of deny range, it looks like, and actually Barrel will be killed. So Wild Soul will have to, we can't actually.
Cooldown,
it is on
another
cooldown.
minute.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That hurts, actually.
It does.
Just got that mock, too.
He's not going to be able to farm anywhere. Like,
Yeah.
he's a big tanky mess that hits for a whole whopping 80 damage.
Yeah. A little unfortunate there, but
Silhouette in the meantime gets initiated by Pebbles, but he doesn't even use his Stalagmites as the ultimate was up for Silhouette, and she's going to go back into her own jungle and farm. So, Axern, what's his farm? What's his item build? Well, it's the one I really like, actually. It's the Nullstone, and probably going to be into that Blink combination. Nullstone's going to be fantastic against Parasite specifically.
Yeah.
Also, the Mana Rift from Slicks can be, nullified from that as well. The toss, it can be nullified, but you can also override that by just tossing the hero to yourself. And it kind of just basically just doesn't even get rid of the Nullstone.
yeah, for good Pebbles players, and definitely Sunomelon's by all means one. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but Z-Freak does have another Minotaur taking over. But actually at the bottom lane, Magebane is going to be jumped right there, and again, he just gets collapsed on the double Portakey, Tempest, and Miraxis, and even a Glacial Downpour on top of that from Glacius easily sets up a kill. So Slicks is struggling. He really has been struggling this game, despite even the Rune Cleaver finished.
What did I say, though? I saw this exactly happening. I was like, the reason two reasons, of course, spreading out farm is not what you want to do, I feel like, with Wild Soul, and Pebbles for that matter. But, by the time you're going to get this this Rune Cleaver, it's timed perfectly with Miraxis' Portal Key. And right there, he's not tanky at all. He's just going to be actually food, to be honest, if you have good warding coming out from Complexity. And it's going to be, as a result, hard to farm for MageBane, if you can believe it or not.
Yeah, it's, I mean, you see their jungle's actually going to be cleared up right here by Complexity, at least a bit of it. So MageBane is going to resurrect right here. We'll see where he goes. He's going to go to the bottom lane, actually. It's being pushed up. So. But again, he needs to be careful because Tempest and Moraxis are still here. And he could very likely be jumped again if they have what it takes. No, he's going to blink away. He knows something is up. And so he'll be fine for now. But it was setting up to be another kill in a MageBane. But he does blink away in time, and we'll be fine. Meanwhile, at the top lane, actually, Parasite, that's an illusion. We'll see if they initiate onto it. Okay, no, it was only a leech, so they realized very quickly. But again, back to MageBane down here. MageBane going to be jumped. Points coming in all over the place. Can he blink away? No, he cannot. The explosion happens. Pebbles counters, though, on to Tempest. Tempest barely still alive. He's going to go for the homecoming sword 4. Ain't going to happen, though. The Elite Power throw snipes him down. There's their Codex to take out Glacius. So it ends up at least being a 2-for-1 exchange. But still, MageBane gets taken out again here by the Hellborn team, and once again slowing down his farm a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they used a lot of ports right there, but the numbers actually reflecting in favor of SG at the moment.
Yeah.
And it's really silly because MageBane's not going to carry this. It's going to be Wild Soul. And Wild Soul has very, very good items. He's sitting at actually the top farm on his team anyway. And so if you're Complexity, especially Haxon, you got to think about the proper item build you want to cut into the damage, or sorry, into the armor and health of Wild Soul. And I really do feel like Shieldbreaker would be the best bet. Now, what does he have on the courier sending to him? It is the portal key. He's like, yeah, I love this build. I love this route. But still, Wild Soul is so tanky, and he will be the one to really carry this team for SG, if anybody.
He is having a hell of a game. Again, this is the Suicide Wild Soul, but this is what he does. Ghost Marcher's Mock of Brilliance on the Boo Boo already, and you just see the tower, the damage that's coming out, hitting for 320, 316, 315, and down it goes. So just like that, a couple of tower kills. And again, that goal lead even growing overall in favor of State Green, now up to 4,000. So despite MageBane being locked down, and as you said, it just seems like he's not going to have the biggest impact this game, perhaps, at least until the late game, if it gets to that point. That is still looking not too shabby here for State Green. Then you have Swittermelons on Pebbles, actually stunning Moraxis, I believe. Okay, yeah, and he bottled up the regen too, so very good snipe right there. The bottom rune takes it just before Moraxis.
He's got to be careful, though. He's holding the eye. And he doesn't want to get rid of that.
That's true.
Other thing I was going to mention. Oh, by the way, in the bottom lane, Chessie, he did use his ultimate there and to secure the kill on MageBane, but I don't think a point of it even hit him. Like, I think they just killed him too fast. And I think part of the reason why is this isn't really his fault, but it's something that should be done. Moon was holding his ultimate when they actually initiated, and it held it so late that I think Chessie was thinking he was scared they didn't have enough damage to take out MageBane. So it actually made Chessie use the ultimate, which ended up being wasted. I don't think it, like I said, I don't think it did a point of damage. And then he actually died as a result after that. So it kind of an interesting play right there. A little bit of miscommunication, actually.
Yeah, definitely. So Pebbles actually another rune. No, never mind. It's only 25 minutes. They are doing Moraxis is over here at the Ancients. As actually Pebbles running over with that Bound Die, but he's not going to counter ward it for now. He feels that might be a bait attempt, so going to play it safe. But speaking of Pebbles, now he goes to Soul's Bulwark again. That's nothing too strange by any means, but I'm actually curious what you think about this. I mean, he goes to Soul's Bulwark instead of the Wild Soul, which you also could expect to see a Soul's Bulwark eventually Demonic Breastplate on. Do you think it's fine going on to Pebbles here?
No, I don't. I think it should always go on to Wild Soul, because you're going to want that attack speed up on the Wild Soul. Now, you can go for something like a Charged Hammer, but I think Demonic is just core onto Wild Soul. So stealing that and snatching up onto Pebbles, yeah, it's good on Pebbles too, but I feel like it's definitely core onto Wild Soul. It also makes Bear very tanky. And in the late stages, the very, very late stages of the game, one of the biggest strategies that comes into mind is, because you have so much farm onto Wild Soul at that point, it's just kill the Bear. Like, kill the Bear twice, and then Wild Soul is pretty much useless. Unless, of course, you transfer the items onto Wild Soul himself, but even then, it's just still not as effective because you don't have that Entangle proc, which is also benefited by the increased attack speed from Demonic Breastplate. So, yeah, I don't like that decision at all.
Well, again, we'll see what kind of build even now KZ goes for on that Boo Boo as perhaps a result of that, because, again, it just seems like that it seems to be the usual. He does have Abyssal Skull now, yeah, but where he goes next from here is going to be interesting. Mighty Blade picked up on Silhouette, so of course Shrunken Head in the works for him, following up that Nullstone Portal Key route, as you mentioned he likes so much. Also a Mighty Blade on Mage Bane, so he too perhaps a Shrunken Head coming out for him. And actually now a Portal Key on Parasite. That is a huge pickup, of course, because really not only gives him solo kill potential even more so, but especially for great follow-up for Pebbles, for really bursting down somebody on this Hellborn team if you do get involved in a team fight. You guys can combo together, so very, very good to have that for Stay Green now, and again, things continue to be adding up for them, so. But still, ultimately, a fairly even game we got going. You see the Ward of Set was actually blocking the Ancients, and actually Moon Meander gets it killed right before the 27-minute mark, and then he Portal Keys away even just to make sure it spawns. So good play right there from Moon Meander coming out, a little small thing, but hey, again, it adds up. So
yeah, absolutely.
Smart on his part. Another Mighty Blade, this time on Tempest. A lot of Shrunken Heads are in the works here, it seems like, amongst both teams even in this game now.
This is looking like it's going to be a little bit more of a passive game right now. Big surprise. But the gold lead is definitely favoring that of SG, and it's actually a demonic bracelet. Is that in full picked up by Swindle?
Yeah, I believe so. He is farming very well.
That's actually pretty huge.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that it is very, very good on Wild Soul, he has one on top of a Blink at 27 minutes. That's going to be very, very devastating against Complexity. So that's scary if you're Complexity. Now, Haxorn looks like he wants to go for that Shrunken Head. He feels like the magic immunity is going to be good here against maybe Parasite, but I don't know if that's really the best decision, honestly. I feel like they're going to lack damage, to be honest. Now, if Tempest is able to get a Shrunken Head, yes, it can be canceled by Parasite, but as long as he waits for Parasite to maybe make a move. But the thing is I know Z-Freak is a good enough player that he's going to wait even longer, because he knows that canceling the Tempest ultimate is his #1 job, and the most important thing he can do in a team fight. So it's going to be difficult.
Isn't the I believe the Mana Rift is superior magic?
You're
as
right.
Well.
That can be used as well. But Mage Bane's so like caught up in a team fight and trying to be up in the fray, trying to do stuff. It's difficult to rely on that.
True.
You know?
Very, very true. But yeah, Pebble's actually a double damage rune activated here, so talk about being very threatening, especially with that demonic breastplate pickup. He is very, very threatening now. I'm not going to really find anyone, though. Again, as you see on the minimap, right now there's no one nearby for Complexity. They're kind of doing their own thing both in the middle and the bottom side of the map. So Pebble's hoping that maybe somebody ports up here top and tries to pick up some farm, but not going to happen, so he'll just farm it himself, it looks like. And kind of show that he even has that double damage rune, so hitting for 395 damage at this point. Again, very, very hard, and actually going to do a lot of damage to this tower now here. Needs to be a little bit careful, because again, there is the Hellborn team nearby, but actually he does have his whole team nearby himself, so Stay Green, they are ready to fight. Pebbles and Parasite kind of sitting a little bit back here. They're waiting for that initiation. Of course, Boo finishes off the tower. Pebbles jumps in onto Glacius. Glacius will more than likely fall right here, but at what cost right here? Pebbles going to get gone on right now. Can he survive this damage? No, he cannot. He'll get bursted down. The Plague team is bouncing around. The rest of the Legion team completely on the run, almost disbanding their teammate. And actually Silhouette in the foreground chasing, but I don't believe she's going to catch anybody else. So 1-for-1 exchange. They did get the tower, but they had the tower already. So
yeah,
that was kind of again maybe a silly decision there by Swindlemelons if his team wasn't going to follow like they didn't.
That's a really good point that you made. Like, they had the tower already. There was no really need to jump in unless you were going for a better target. But okay, a tower aside, you're right. They already had it, so you can't take into equation. But it was like a tower kill and then a kill trade. No, you already had the tower. It was a Pebbles for a Glacius straight up. So that was a very bad decision right there. He definitely should not have jumped in.
Yeah. We do see Conqueror being attempted by Complexity. Now, Aluna did power throw it with the red power throw, so obviously Stay Green very aware, and sure enough, Complexity reacts to that. They fall back, realizing that they don't have nearly enough damage quickly enough. Tempest actually taking a bit of damage right there.
Oh,
they killed the Courier. I don't think anything was on it. I believe they were just simply using it, if anything, for scouting.
Right.
So I did see it get killed, and I didn't see anything drop, so I don't believe that's a huge deal necessarily. But
I think Flying Courier is, what, 300 gold?
Yeah.
Now, that's actually a good boost for Haxorn.
True. The bounty, you mean?
Yeah.
Is it? Is that high? Wow.
I think it's pretty high. If not, it's 150, but yeah. I know it's a decent gold boost.
Huh. Well, yeah, Haxorn got it, so a little bit of gold there. I mean, doesn't hurt. Middle tower, though, going down as Keizu, again, using that boo-boo as he must have some gold saved up, by the way. 2,200. Oh, he went and played the Greaves on himself, actually, so he's building up tanky on himself. That's what you usually see. Pebbles, our Parasite, blinking in. This is, again, Franzi's favorite ward spot in the Conqueror pit. That's exactly where Z-Freak went. Sure enough, there is no ward of sight there. So they're doing Conqueror. Now, they do spot a ward of sight here. They counter it, but obviously Complexity is aware that something could be up now. So we'll see what Stay Green. It looks like they're going to retreat here. It's not worth it to them, especially being blind themselves. it's not worth the risk. So
Right.
they too are going to fall back and back to more farm. But okay, so again, looking back at the big picture here, how about Slicks on Magebane? He's now up 370 gold per minute. He's got the Shrunken Head, Rune Cleaver, of course, and another 1,700 gold saved up. So it seems like he's finally able to start calming down now and actually get a solid farm going, which is good for Stay Green, of course.
Yeah, he is, and his item pickup is very sound. I like it. I like just getting the Shrunken Head. In fact, right now, like I said at the very beginning of the game, I think the addition of having that snare ability to Magebane is the key ingredient to actually having him be successful in the later stages of the game against hard carries like Silhouette. Because not only does it make you very, very tanky, but it lets you sit up there and trade auto attacks right in their face because it does slow them. And I think that's what he should be going for. We'll have to wait and see. He could go for Geometer's Bane also because that's very core, and there actually is the Firebrand pickup. So, yeah, I can't disagree ever with Geometer's Bane on Magebane because the illusions do propagate that Mana Rift, or sorry, the Mana Combustion.
Mana Rift, that would be
that'd
be crazy.
Illusions using Mana Rift.
No big deal. They mimic your abilities. So yeah, he's got the Firebrand purchase. That alone obviously enhancing his damage quite a bit, and then eventually the Geometer's Bane. There's a Slayer picked up by Wild Soul, so he's going to make Boo Boo hit even harder apparently with the Savage Mace eventually. And obviously that'll be devastating for the Hellborn side to deal with. It's not only for the towers, but hell, even themselves. I mean, Boo Boo can do a lot of damage to you, especially with those Entangled procs, so need to be careful about that. Speaking of a Slayer, Silhouette also going the Slayer route actually. And Savage Mace is going to be in the works for Haxorn as well, so getting that damage output now. You talked about earlier, the Shrunken Head maybe a little bit too defensive. They could use some damage, but of course a Savage Mace will start bringing that now at least. Parasite is, he's in a damn creep. Okay, now I can check. He's still on level 1 Codex, so. And ooh, he is going to counter war. No, did he not see it?
I don't know if he saw it.
Oh, maybe. I think they did. No, they didn't. They must. Wow, he was right next to it, it seemed like.
Pebbles is caught right here.
Pebbles is caught. That's unfortunate. Okay, there we go. Yeah, let's go down. Yeah, Z-Freak had the right idea, of course, but Franzi is getting a little bit more crafty with his Sword Aside even. And apparently you can't see it, so. Good job by Franzi there.
Haxorn saved up a lot of gold. He does have a Slayer, so he's going to go for that Savage Mace. And I think Savage Mace is always a fine pickup. Having those extra procs, with the Relentless Salvo. Still always a big fan of the Shield Breaker, and I think especially Shield Breaker against Magebane, who doesn't exactly have that much armor right now, only 12 armor, which is cut through him. My argument is even if you're stacking armor, you're going to have to get through it somehow, unless you ultimately decide to go for Harkons. But how rarely do we see, it's
not enough.
Yeah, I gotta say, Harkons is a damn good item, especially in the later stages of the game.
Yeah, it's probably the most epic moments. I mean, I remember Era's Puppet Master. There was Bryson on Warbeast, I think it was. I mean, there's been some epic moments where Harkon's been picked up, and it's been for good reason and pretty epic. So, it is very situational. It seems like. It seems like if they're stacking the armor, then that makes sense. But yeah, I don't necessarily have that this game. So, anyways, kind of a side thing there. Conqueror is going to be tempted, but again, they didn't realize that the Sword Aside is here. So Complexity is full vision. No, I don't know about full vision, but they know what's going on. You see, well, that's a Luna, so their own team. But they realize now, okay, Complexity knows somehow they're going to go in, and Stay Green will fall back. So playing the passive route as they should, or are they? Swinno Mel's wants to go back in, perhaps. Oh, Glacius sitting right on top of the Sword Aside. He is going to be jumped right there. The Slagma's not the greatest placement. Oh, not enough for the kill. Luna's not going to power throw either. And Glacius should survive, or will she? She has a red power throw. Is she going to go for it? Glacius is very, very low.
Oh,
he's going to go for it.
Oh,
just in front of him.
Oh,
let him a little bit too much. I was on Franzi the whole time, and sure enough, just misses. So.
But how about that power supply?
Yeah.
He doesn't even have vestments. I'm surprised that the...
he lived, yeah.
He lived. I don't know.
That's pretty crazy, actually. Wow. Oh, wow. They lose the tower, actually, to Creeps alone, so that's unfortunate. Again, they were trying Kongor, but Kongor's just too damn big. He can't get him fast enough. And once again, Stay Green will be forced to retreat, so... the Kongor attempts just not happening right now for Stay Green, so you could argue that just don't even bother at this point. If anything, just stop Complexity from doing it. So, because if anything, you're getting it low enough to the point where Complexity can out ninja it, and you got to be careful about that too.
Yeah.
So. Got to be careful. Hellflower is still not on more Axis, by the way. He's been sitting on that one Arcana portal key for a while now, it seems like.
I feel like this gold that he has, I feel like he has another one, and he's just reluctant to buying it in full because he wants to be able to have that buyout. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that that's what's going on.
I mean, his GPM's not that impressive. He's only 237.
It
so.
really isn't, but still, 37 minutes just having Blink and Hellflower, it should be. It should be up.
So right. Pebbles Farm is definitely dwindled a little bit, but still very impressive nonetheless. 344 GPM. But Mageman again, Slicks, Horror's really bad start, and it was seeming to be bad news for him. But again, eventually, as you may have expected, it finally settled down. And it got things going. Now he actually has that Blessed Orb picked up. He's going to go back to Ancients, which are double stacked. Actually, now going to be triple stacked as a result of the Hatchet throw. Or I guess that's even the Rune Cleaver throw. And there you go. So he'll clean this up and could even have the Geometer Spin now as a result of that. Look at actually Complexity. They're waiting for SG to maybe go in the Kongor pit, but that isn't happening, obviously. So they're kind of just sitting here expecting a Kongor attempt. It's not going to happen, though. So.
Yeah,
they're just getting a little bit distracted, you could say, but now back to farming they go as well. And Stay Green, Stay Green has had the lead this whole game, by the way. I mean, they're still in a 7,100 gold lead and about a 3,000 experience lead. So they've had control in the sense of that this whole game. So they have every right to be happy for that. But
yeah, SG has really kind of taken control of the game, and I think the lack of wards that Complexity has, they have had to conserve, or at least utilize a lot of wards around Kongor because they realized how fast SG can take Kongor. So you have one ward actually in the pit that's going to fade here any second now, as well as one ward right here next to the Ancients. But other than that, they can't see anything else on the map, and as a result, they can't farm anything, which is why we've seen the golden experience lead rise even further for SG. It's now up to 7,300 gold and 3,500 experience. And now top lane is actually pushing pretty heavily. Someone's going to have to defend this, and that could be an opening for SG to actually make a move in towards Kongor.
Yeah, the Kongor are catching the others off guard even. So what's up?
And that ward of sight that was just placed by Franz to give vision was countered immediately by Parasite, who has a bound eye.
Yep, and did he have another wild? He has another freaking Wild Hunter.
Yep.
I swear he's having HoN spawn these things for him. I mean,
could be.
There's
two more in the Hellborn jungle right now waiting.
Okay, and he tries to scout right there, and actually they do jump in now. So again, there's still this ward of sight down here at the bottom of Rune that might have seen them like kind of go by. So Complexity is very aware that something's going on. We could have a big Kongor fight brewed right here. They're definitely committing to this. Here we go. The jump is coming all over the place. Moraxis jumps in, and look at Skies are going to get obliterated. Watso barely to stay alive, and he will finally fall. Looks like Manor to finish off Glaciers, but the Tempest ultimate locking him down. In comes Parasite to counter Tempest, though. Tempest now with the second head up. He's trying to survive. Magebane jumping onto him, however. The Plague is still bouncing around. Magebane will fall. He has the token of light, though. Tempest going to try to blink away. Yes, he will. He home could initially, but then he blinks away. Magebane being locked down by the Savage Mace. Going to be fine for now. Plague going to being chased by Parasite, but the Savage Mace attacks from Silhouette get the job done. Wildsoul does fight back, however, and he will finish off Plague Runner. Now Magebane using the health potion from the Observatory, and now going on to Silhouette. If he can get some assistance here from Wildsoul, then they could definitely make this happen. Trying to block him, perhaps get a lucky Entangle proc, but Silhouette's just a little bit too fast, I believe. And that will be the end of that. So, Kongor, obviously the Token of Life was picked up by Magebane, eventually used. I don't know. I mean, a buyback on Wildsoul, you think either side had a clear favorite there?
It was definitely a one fight for Complexity, but not by like a huge margin.
Yeah.
If they got the kill on the Pebbles, he was so close to dying. He had a haste rune and ran away with that. Had he not had that, he would have definitely been dead for sure. But if they got the kill on him, it would have been a for sure victory. But still, a small victory for Complexity. Kaiser used a bile. He did nothing right there. He got demolished. He got demolished by the spells and the physical damage from Silhouette. And Tempest, he didn't get the full channel ulti off, but he got enough done. And it was canceled by Z-Freak, so he was still on par with that. But yeah, they got the Token of Life also off from Magebane and killed him. And still, Magebane, despite him bouncing back in farm, and it's actually top on his team, still really isn't able to do that much, even with these items that he's holding right now.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, another 2,100 gold on him, so he is on his way to another item even. But Silhouette definitely, Haxford did a lot of damage that fight. And we saw the Savage Mace proccing quite often, it seemed like, both to chain stun, obviously, and the mini stuns, as well as just the extra damage that it adds. So that was big for them. In fact, pulling up the damage chart, it's actually a pretty solid spread throughout this game. No one's really exceeding by any means, but you got Silhouette up there at 14% overall, so not too shabby. Moraxis still not having the Hellfire. He does have 2,700 gold saved up, so kind of like you're saying, seems like Mumiana may just simply be sitting on a buyback here. Wants to be a little bit more safe with that, but should eventually have that Hellflower, and obviously useful for Complexity once he does. But yeah, you also mentioned Parasite did a great job of making sure to save his abilities to counter Tempest when he started channeling that ultimate in that team fight. So well played by Z-Freak there. And ultimately just an entertaining fight that slightly in the favor of complexity, perhaps. But again, we're now 40 minutes in, and by no means is there a clear victor anywhere. I mean, anywhere inside. It's definitely either team's game here. And what is game number 2? Obviously, complexity up 1-0, as you see on your screen. But Stay Green is trying to force that third and final game before moving on. So do we have a result, by the way?
TT Esports 2-0s. TDM.
Wow. How did game 2 go? Was it a...
It was a 32-minute concede. It was a clear victory. Moravis level 21, 5 levels higher than the Moon Queen that TDM picked up, and ended the game with a 10-0 hero kill score for Moravis on Draconis with 607 GPM. Wow! Can't say I saw that coming.
I absolutely did not. I mean, again, it's TDM. It's they lost a game to FYKU yesterday, so that was surprising in itself. But here we are, TT Esports 2-0s trademark esports. So. Big congratulations to TD Esports, and that means TDM for the first time in the HoN Tour event, they will be dropping down to the losers bracket. They've had the easy road of going to the winner. I don't want to say easy, I guess, but they've had the privilege to earn the privilege of going through the winners bracket and then eventually winning it all in the grand finals. So, if they want to win this tournament though, or this cycle, they'll have to do it via the losers bracket this time around. So, interesting stuff there for sure. Coming out with that result. So, cool to hear that. Yeah, wow, that is something. Do you know how the losers bracket, but did we find that out already?
Losers bracket, I don't
know.
Yeah. I can pull that up.
Pull that up real quickly while we are sitting on a pause here.
Yeah.
Figuring this out, of course. Apparently there's some lag issues over here on complexity, so get it addressed though. And moving on with game number 2. So that means the winner of this series though will be playing TT Esports now.
Yep.
Where the loser will, of course, drop down to the losers bracket, but still be alive. But yeah, it's winner playing TT Esports, and that obviously we will be covering that, the winners bracket finals. That'll be next weekend though, on Saturday, when obviously the Diamond Division resumes. So that's gonna be fun, man. I mean, TT Esports. I'm now very excited to see them again, especially with the big victory there.
Now,
over trademark. So
OTP took the first game over Lions. It looks like Lions is easily destroying in game 2.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 24-9 hero kill lead, 37 assists on Lion, 11 on OTP. So we could be seeing a game 3 right there in that between those two teams.
Good to hear. And then Q Squad won the other one, right?
Yes, 2-0.
Yeah, Q Squad was 2-0. We talked about that. So there you
and
go.
That's
as
everything.
far as results. Did you refresh? Oh, it doesn't have them moving on yet. I'm kind of curious. Does that mean who will TDM play in the losers bracket? Will they play Q Squad or the other team? I'm not sure.
Right here?
Well, yeah, they'll be placed either here or here. Well, obviously, you guys at home can't see what I'm talking about. But anyways, you go to the brackets yourself, HoNtour.com, and you can, once again, check it out for yourself. So, according to Peter, it's nothing too serious. It's just a minor Skype issue, so they're just getting it figured out real quickly. And then
it looks like it's reversed, so it'll be the top one goes to the bottom.
Yeah.
The bottom one goes to the top. So I think TDM, not 100%, but I think they're going to be playing QSQ.
Q Squad, yeah.
If they, well, they lost. Yeah, okay. So,
yep.
Yeah. Not 100%
on there. We'll see. Again, that will all then resume next weekend on Saturday, starting with Saturday, of course. So, you know, with that said, during the week, there is obviously not necessarily HoN Tour Diamond coverage expected, but on Tuesday at the very least, we do plan to cover the gold match, at least the one gold division matchup, because the gold division actually does take place during the weekdays because of how their schedule is set up and everything. So on Tuesday is when we scheduled to do that. On Monday and then also Friday, perhaps expect something else as well, whether it's some in-house cast, maybe even another gold division match. I mean, we'll see. So Tuesday is definitely the certain one, though. The other days, we'll take a look. But so again, keep tuned to honcast.com, of course, as far as our coverage goes here. So look forward to that. All right.
Are we ready to draw some boxes yet?
I don't think we're at that stage yet. I don't think we're at that stage just yet, but it perhaps is getting there if this does keep up.
So what do you predict is going to happen this game then, Breaky? What are your predictions? How do you think this game will pan out for the rest of the game?
Oh, geez. Stay Green wins it, and we go to a third game. There you go.
Boring.
I don't know. I mean, I think Stay Green. I think Stay Green is in the better position, and they definitely have their advantages here. I mean, okay. Apparently, Chelsea's having trouble returning, but anyways, you got a Mage Bane. I mean, sure, he hasn't had the biggest impact in this game at all, but he is going to get a big damage out of him. Probably something like a Savage Mace next. And that on top of your really farmed Wild Soul and Pebbles doing his thing, I think it could become a little bit too much for Complexity to handle. But, hey, you get Chessie with the Clutch Ultimate. You get Silhouette is proving that she can dish out plenty of damage herself. The Plague Goo bouncing around, which she's level 16 now, by the way, is Plague Rider. So level 3 Plague Goo, it could work out for Complexity just as easily. So, but yeah, I feel the momentum and the. If I had to pick a favorite right now, it probably would be in favor of Stay Green. So
Legion's now pausing.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest factor now is Chessie's in the making of a Null Stone. And I think that's going to be huge for them. Like you mentioned, now Keisu's lacking actually the one that's saying, let's go. Wait, kidding, I'm lagging. But I think that's the biggest. Now, you mentioned, I saw first Parasite. Parasite can cancel the Tempest Ultimate even through Shrunken Head. But you were like, well, the same thing can happen with Mage Bane. Mage Bane can do that. But the thing is, Mage Bane is always up in the fray. Like, he's always fighting. He's always blinking up in your face. And he's not the one that really should be sitting back.
Caught by the ultimate.
Like, okay, if Parasite sits back and waits and waits and waits and waits and waits and waits for the Tempest Ultimate, it's like, okay, you don't have that much to offer to the team anyway. Mage Bane, not the same. Like, you have a lot to offer in a team fight. So sitting back and waiting as a Mage Bane for the Tempest Ultimate is not something that you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a great point to bring up on top of that. So, what was I going to say? Wow, it is already 6:15. Holy crap. This is just game number 2 here. What was I going to bring up? Oh, yeah, you saw the comment made by Franzi right there about the no kangaroos in Miami. But that's actually, he's bringing that up because in case you missed it earlier, we actually had Swinamelons on before this cast started here. And he actually made the announcement that Slicks apparently is going to be moving in with both Swinamelons and Z-Freak, actually, of course, rooming together. To their place in Miami, Florida, of course. So, in the States. So Slicks apparently is going to be getting some good U.S. latency as a result of that, and beginning to get some LAN experience also with his teammates and whatnot. So, that's definitely was cool news to hear, and definitely wish him and this team the best of luck, of course, with that. So, in case you missed that news earlier, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we were so good to go, and then the pause for Keizu, who lagged out.
It's been such a good day, too.
It's been a great weekend
for that matter, yeah. Really has been. Yesterday was obviously awesome. Some great matchups there. We actually got to check out multiple, like 3 or 4 different series, so with jumping into other series and whatnot. But today, again, it's been going very well up until, now you could say we're getting a little bit more of a pause break than we like, but, well, it happens. It happens indeed. Off to a pretty good start so far, though, for the new year, 2013.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, we're in a spot of, with 2 cycles down, we're here in cycle number 3. We're getting more and more of an idea of how things are, still very early on, but at least an idea of how things are starting to shape up with the points and whatnot. Well, I'm getting distracted. I'm like reading the text while I'm trying to think of what to say. Do you guys need to FF? Yeah. All right, so apparently Keizu, does he have trouble reconnecting?
Yeah, I don't know what issues he's having, but apparently Chessie's issues weren't any like lag. It was just he was having problems with Skype or Raid Call or TeamSpeak or whatever, and just couldn't get back in there. And it got disconnected for a second from that, and then he was fine. But I don't know what Keizu's problems are.
Yeah, not too sure. I'm talking about they're far enough ahead that they get the win. That's funny. Yeah, this if anything is definitely a very, very close game. But yeah, so just gonna wait on Keizu now, and hopefully he does come back. So TDM losing to TT Esports. Had that news, just to reiterate that again. TT Esports 2-0 over them. So they are gonna wait the winner now of this one and play next Saturday was the plan. And then, of course, it wraps up once again on the Sunday. So these cycles, it's pretty cool. It's working. We had the winter or the Christmas break, the winter break, whatever you want to call it. And so obviously there was about a 2.5 week break there. But now that we're back into the cycles again, it's gonna flow very nicely. Is the point I'm getting at, from cycle to cycle, which is really cool, and looking forward to that. So, and there are also other events. I mean, I mentioned this yesterday. There's that Sound Blaster hosted event that's actually continuing, I believe, tomorrow. I believe it's also an open tournament, so if you can play on the weekdays at those times, you can definitely sign up for that event. Chance at some monies and experience, if anything. So Seeing how that
Yeah,
plays
that's an
out.
awesome event, and I think that starts tomorrow, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
I
And
think
it goes, and it does that every single week or every
I
other week.
believe so. I believe it's every week. It's kind of like the cycles like HoN Tour, where I think there's like 8 cycles, and then at the end of that, the winner of every cycle qualifies for the grand final tournament or whatever. So
Right.
I believe that's how it works out. Yeah, and that'll be fun to keep an eye on as well, as far as how results are going for that. So other than that, it's been a beautiful time being back here in Michigan. Went from being in San Diego over my break to this.
It is quite cold here.
Yeah, it's definitely getting cold here.
But it really hasn't snowed like crazy like I've been told.
Yeah, I know. It was like that for. I was here last winter too, and I heard these horror stories about you're going to need to pack a shovel in your car because there's a chance you may need to dig yourself out of many snowstorms. And I've been here now for, like I said, both last winter and this winter, and it's been not bad at all. So I don't know what they're talking about. I guess it's been pretty mild, but anyways, side topics. But that's what we do. NFL playoffs started this weekend.
Oh, let me check out how the Seahawks
Yeah,
are doing.
I was going to say,
Shout out
actually.
to my hometown, Seattle.
Hometown Seattle. San Diego is my hometown. In fact, I have a nice little mug here that I got for Christmas.
Seahawks,
Drinking some water out of
Redskins.
it.
It's 13-14 right now. Redskins.
You went to Google and typed in Seahawks.
Yeah.
That's how you found the score?
How
Are you
else
serious?
am I supposed to do it?
Oh, I don't know. ESPN or something?
Okay, well, watch this. Watch this. I type in ESPN.
You're going to type in ESPN in Google.
Uh-oh. Now I have to click on this link. Uh-oh. I clicked on one link. Now where do I go? I'm looking.
Oh, look at that. It's a front page.
Yeah, but I clicked on two extra things, whereas
Yeah,
I just
that's
typed
true.
in one word.
It's 14-13 Washington, you said? Third
Yes.
quarter. Okay.
Yes.
My San Diego Chargers didn't make the playoffs this year. Unfortunate.
Ha ha ha.
We got rid of our coach, though, and our GM, so I'm finally happy for that. Probably 90% of our audience doesn't even know what I'm talking about, but
What else do we
well.
have here? Final, I like how we're talking about football, but Baltimore takes out Indy.
Baltimore but Indy, nice.
Houston over Cincinnati. Oh yeah, Green Bay. That's awesome. That's my dad's
That was
hometown.
the last night's game.
So I'm a Packers fan, and I'm happy to hear that they won.
Yeah, we saw that the Green Bay defeating Minnesota last night's battle. So hockey's back apparently. The lockout ended. I'm not a hockey fan whatsoever, but I thought that was cool to hear. So
Oh, neat.
we're becoming more of your global sports news station now on HoNcast. It's more than just HoN. It's everything. So yeah, that was cool to hear. I don't know any soccer news, unfortunately, or aka football. What do you do?
It's time for some
It's time
drawing.
for the spirals.
This is when you need Heimer as a co-caster because he could actually draw stuff very nicely.
Oh yeah, I can draw stuff all right.
Yes, beautiful pictures of a human anatomy. Because that's what he does best.
There is a reason why we gave him the most entertaining streamer of the year award. Awesome streamer. But yeah, that was cool to hear about the hockey lockout ending. We got basketball. I mean, not much news from there. I'm following the Lakers every now and then. I'm a Lakers fan. Redskins forced to fumble on 3.
I don't know much about sports, especially basketball, because I just hate basketball. I think it's so boring. I don't know. But I've heard that the Lakers are bad or something this year. I don't know.
So, just gonna rub that in and all.
No, I don't know. See, I don't even know. I don't
Heard
don't
something about the
follow.
Lakers being bad. I'm just saying.
Am I gonna get a lot of hate?
Let's
now?
just
I
say
don't
they're
know.
not bad. They're very underachieving now. Is the best way to put it. Because they have probably one of the best rosters the NBA has ever seen in its history, and they ain't doing the greatest to start off the season. Now, there's still plenty of season left, so we'll see. I don't know exactly where they are right now. I haven't really been checking up with them every second, but looks like Casey's reconnected.
But Slick's not
but
here.
Slicks is AFK. He's probably
Of course.
grabbing a nap.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's to wake up so early, all these matches. So now we're waiting on Slicks, apparently. But Keizu is back in. That's the important thing. We're probably going to have a server on pause here shortly, actually. Seems like it's been 10 minutes now. We're close to it.
Well, it was staggered from the pause first from
True.
Complexity, so.
That's true.
But, yep. So hopefully
Very-
Slicks
very
gets
true.
back.
That's good, because, again, this has been a very, very even game. All right, Slicks comes back and says Psy. Is that... Oh, no, that's
I
what
got
that
it.
means.
That's what that means.
I love that. He's the first one to respond. It was Sai, and then we're like, wait, he's back. Good. Oh, never mind. All right, so Kizu's having the troubles.
All right. Well, speaking of server run pauses, yeah, that probably will happen.
Well, this again is whenever we go through this situation, it puts the series in the game. It's such an awkward spot because obviously we're 40 minutes in. There's no way you can call it anywhere.
Nope.
You can't call the game. Absolutely not. I mean, what do? You wait 20. You wait. I think the rules state, and there's the first server run pause.
Let's get it on.
The rules state, I believe. So, okay, well, anyways,
Well,
I'll get into that if it happens to happen again. But, so, let's just not talk about it. Don't jinx it or anything.
Sure.
Here we go. All right, so, game's resuming now. Where are we at? So, Stay Green, again, they have some advantages, both the gold and experience. They've had it basically the whole game. You have Keizu right now. Speaking of Keizu, oh, his bear's invisible. That bug's pretty fun.
Actually, that's funny because it was invisible for me this entire game, but now I can see it.
Now it's visible?
Yeah. I don't know.
So it became visible for you. That is kind of weird. That would be frustrating, though, for sure. But, hey, it's, you know what? There's worse problems out there. Okay, so we'll just have to deal with it, I guess. Unfortunately, apparently BK can't see it either. So maybe it's a fight that's happening to several.
Oh, man. Okay, it's one thing if you can...
If your own player can't see it, but...
Well, yeah, it's one thing if your own player can't see it, but if the enemy team can't see it,
that's pretty OP.
That's a bigger deal, actually.
That just made Boo Boo even stronger. He's stealth mode. Okay, whoa, Boo Boo. Speaking of Boo Boo, he's dropping very quickly right there. Contagion nuke even going to be used. He'll barely survive, though.
How can you target it if you can't see it? I don't understand.
Well, there's still you can click on it. You can actually click on it and it forms a circle.
That's so weird.
So, yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Marx just jumps in on a wild soul to target himself. He's going to be bursted down, though. Health bar going to be applied. He stays alive for now. The plague is passing around. Mage Bane in the background, though, jumps on a Glacius, immediately obliterates him. Tempest is still alive as Parasite trying to survive. Tempest with that shotgun head up. His ultimate still on cooldown for another 10 seconds. Mage Bane blinks away, and right now we're sitting on a 1-for-1 exchange. Parasite for that Glacius, so it's safe to say Complexity coming on the top there, and they hold the tower push. So well played for Complexity. And did Boo Boo get? No, Boo Boo didn't even get killed. Neither did Walso, who got very low. But that's how the fight will end, actually. So
you know, that fight could have been actually much huger if Haxorn's ultimate was up that entire time. He could have pursued Wild Soul, but he felt a threat coming his way. Had he had that ultimate up, he could have just easily kept going for Wild Soul. Didn't have to worry about a thing at all. And but didn't have it up. His ultimate just came up just now. But nonetheless, Moonmeter actually is on a streak himself, Ultimate Warrior. So he went from 0-2-3 or 0-2 and whatever to now 4-2-3. So he's doing work. He has his Hellflower now, and that's paying dividends.
Oh yeah, that's big, of course. And something else. Crap, I totally forgot what I was going to say. But
Tempest hasn't ulted yet, by the way.
That's what I was going to say. Thank you. Tempest ultimate. It was just barely coming off cooldown when that fight was basically ending. So speaking of the Silhouette ultimate, I mean, Tempest ultimate, having that would have been huge as well for Complexity. But with the circumstances, I think it's safe to say, I mean, they did very well there as far as holding off Stay Green. And now the fact that they have those bigger abilities to use, that's good for them. So good hold right there. I mean, the Golden Experience still stay pretty similar. And you still have your Mage Bane and Wild Soul for the matter farming a lot. And, you know, we talked about Wild Soul, the farm that he's had throughout this game seems like he's going to be more of the carry ultimately for the team. That's not really the case anymore. I mean, Mage Bane definitely is up there now. I mean, he's at 443 GPM, and he's also 3 levels higher than his Wild Soul teammate at level 21. So Slicks really has fully recovered and is definitely becoming that very hard carry status now. So more good news. He has a Whispering Helm, by the way, as his attack modifier. Eventually turn into a similar rage, I'm sure. But that is down the line. But then you also have a Silhouette being played by Haxorn, of course. He ultimately is the best farmer and leveler in the game. Level 23, 518 gold per minute. And he actually has 4,100 gold saved up. So he's saving up for something big here. It could just simply... What is our buyback situation, by the way? Only one buyback so far, and that was by Keizu earlier on. So yeah, not too much happening there. So
yeah, he used it. It was much earlier on.
I remember that, yeah.
And it was the fight where I was like, well, they won it because he did buy out. And yeah, that's good for him. I want to check his bear. What does he have? Because I can finally see it now.
Slayer.
He has the Slayer. Okay, he's had that actually for quite some time.
Yeah, in fact, I think the Savage Mace is being delivered here.
It is on the career.
Yep.
Okay, if they see that on him, that should be very obvious that they do actually have, or he does not have a buyout anymore. Pebbles is sitting around with an invis. His farm has completely dropped off since he's bought that demonic breastplate about like what 20 minutes ago. Like he had it about, I want to say, the 26-minute mark.
True.
Now he has a mighty blade. It's actually pretty close to a shrunken head, and that's going to be very good for him. But Haxorn, I'm very curious as to what he decides to buy for his last item. I really am. And honestly, I talk about this all the time. I think Enduro is a fantastic item in the very late stages of the game. So much of a big item into one item slot. When you're trying to find an item that does massive amounts of damage, does so much for you, and it doesn't matter if you already have a blink. You're going to have so much mobility. But there are other options, things like he doesn't have an orb just yet, so he could go for something like a Symbol of Rage. That's never been my favorite route to go. I think just pure damage all the way out on Silhouette is the right build. Maybe even Rift Shards could be strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. He has a lot of options.
Yeah. Of course, the store is open to him. 5,400 gold now saved up and counting. So, obviously, again, 2 buybacks. Also pretty damn important. Pebbles cleaning up the Hellborn Ancients in the meantime. So, do a good job of ninjaing those. And actually, Wingbow right-clicked right there. You don't seem like a fan.
Nah, I don't like it.
Nah. Reasons.
Well, you know what? It's actually not bad against Magebane at all. I will say that. It's pretty good against Magebane. You do have the Savage Mace up onto Boo Boo, so it's going to ignore that. And you know what? On second thought, I actually don't think it's a bad item to pick up. I actually think it's quite nice here.
Love it.
So, yeah, I gave him I looked at it a second time, and I actually do think it's a good pickup here.
All right. Is it enough for the, dare I say,
I won't go that far, but it's a decent pickup. I think just sheer damage would have been a smarter route, but this is still fine against especially Magebane because he does attack quickly, and being able to have that evasion on top of the Shrunken Head to mitigate all the mana burn coming out from him, and it also is good against all the heavy hitters like Pebbles. He's a heavy hitter as well. So, and not to mention it does work out well. I always say the Wingbow when you have lots of illusions because they do benefit from stat items.
Yeah, very good point. So, again, she doesn't have a buyback now. That's definitely something to keep in mind. Granted, she has a Wingbow, and obviously that enhances so much as you just went through. They are kind of pushing in right here. Shrunken Head finished on Pebbles. What's up?
Oh, sorry, I just read something from chat. I thought was pretty funny. I gotta give you a shout out.
Chat being hilarious, really?
Seppas Keji. Oh, okay, never mind. I don't want to miss a team fight, but I'll wait for a safer spot.
All right, yeah. Silhouette is actually pushing up right here, just pounding in damage to the tower, and Stay Green obviously is not, though. Oh, actually, Moraxis jumps and misses the Quake Stun, though, and they are going to counter. Make him pay. Matrix is up, and Moraxis taking a lot of damage now. In jumps Plague as the Arcane Shield going to be used as the Tempest Ultimate, pulling in Magebane. He has a Shrunken Head up, though, so minimal damage coming out. Silhouette trying to do as much as possible. Magebane dropping. Oh, that was an illusion right there. He will port away. Will Magebane. Jumps into Moraxis. Nice stun there. Magebane will get the kill on Moraxis. Glacius turning around, helping to get the kill on Magebane, though. Pebbles jumps back in. The root on a Silhouette right there, and the Entangle doing work right there, setting up the kill onto Silhouette, and look at Complexity. Everyone but Tempest is dead. The buyback did happen, several, I believe. Magebane bought back. No, that was the only one, actually. So, Stay Green, despite Magebane dropping fairly effectively there, the rest were doing a lot of work, especially Wild Soul, I'm sure.
It took him way too long, though. And a missed jump there from Moonmeander, it does make a huge difference. Haxorn, he has no buyout. He has no buyout. Watch the racks. Watch Wild Soul do his thing. You got Magebane who bought back as well. This is going to be 2 sets of racks. And Silhouette is dead for another 40 seconds. This is why if you're going to pull up that much gold, at least pull up a little bit more so you also have buyout on top of purchasing that huge item. So, not to mention, I still didn't like that.
Is that the game? I mean, they're going to lose.
That's all racks. That's game.
That's going to be Mega Creeps. There we go. The concede comes out, and Complexity says we ain't coming back from that. So, Stay Green takes game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what that means. We have a game 3 is officially going to be coming up here between Complexity and Stay Green. That is some cool news right there. So excited for that, and unfortunately we had to go through a little bit of a pause time there, but at least it got figured out, and we were able to at least finish off the game. So that was good to see. But it goes to show you, man.
Snap of the finger, game totally changed. Game over.
That game was even, if anything. I mean, it's sure a slight advantage for Stay Green, but by no means. Exactly, though. Literally the snap of the finger, all of a sudden Stay Green pushes, all 3 sets of racks go down, and it's like, all right, GG. So. Well played by Stay Green, and definitely doing a lot of work right there to force the 3rd and final game. So I think we're going to take a short break here, though, as always, and then we will be coming back at you. We got game number 3 right around the corner, hopefully. We have Complexity taking on Stay Green. Stay tuned.